श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम यत् ओम नमोस्तु ते व्यास विशाल बुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दाय तपत्र नेत्र येन त्वया भारत तैलपूर्णः प्रज्वलितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ध्यानमूलं गुरुर्मूर्तिः पूजामूलं गुरोः पदम् मन्त्रमूलं गुरुर्वाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरोः कृपा। ओम कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय। सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। कृष्ण भगवान की जय। गीता माता की जय। हरि ओम। We are discussing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which is the nectarian words came out of the mouth of the absolute truth in the form of Lord Krishna to give us directions in our worldly life. Fifth discourse, and yesterday we were discussing on 27th sloka. Sparsan kritva bahirvahyam cha bahirvahyam cha nahi bahirvahyam चक्षु अवान्तरे भ्रुवोः चक्षुश्चैवान्तरे भ्रुवोः प्राणापानौ समौ कृत्वा नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणी नहीं. We have seen Lavante Brahma. Yes, 20 we have seen काम क्रोध वियुक्तानां जतीनां जतचेतसाम् अभितो ब्रह्म निर्वाणं वर्तते विदितात्मनं 26. This also we have discussed yesterday. So today 27th this sloka. स्पर्शन कृत्वा बहिर्बाह्यं चक्षुश्चैवान्तरे भ्रुवो प्राणापानौ समौ कृत्वा नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणौ. In the explanation of or giving statement of a realized soul, how he looks like, what will be his conditions, how he will be his practices, by what means he has attained that highest state. All these we are discussing. Now he is giving some particular practices, by practicing which the yogis get into that state. Shutting out all external contacts and fixing the gaze between the eyebrows, equalizing the outgoing and incoming breaths, moving within the nostrils. This is a kind of pranayam which we practice not as per the methods stated in pranayam science, but it is a little mixture of 2-3 things together. Pranayam, tratak and other things. It is from this only Gurudev had the idea of integral yoga. Lord Krishna also applies always integral yoga. Sometimes samattam yoga uchyate, sometimes santos amrita chittanam, sometimes karma sukausalam, sometimes jnana yoga vishishyate, sometimes sannyasa yoga, sometimes not only sannyas, karma sannyas, many things. Sometimes he says, surrender is the best way. Many methods, whatever suits to you, according to your nature and choice, or everything together. And really speaking, all these are not different from each other. One who practiced all these, he knows the difference. There is no difference at all. If one is done, others are done, 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 done. How it is? Now he is telling all these secrets. You see, previously I had given some hints on this practice. That triangular yoga, Lord Krishna explained, which indirectly, directly, in Yoga Vasita or in other discussions, we always discuss the whole world stands upon triangular cooperative society basement. Everything is related with each other, nothing can be separated from each other. That we see very often. One particular single practice can never be practiced. Impossible. Because one is related naturally, this is relative world. One cannot stand with one leg steadily. You stand with one leg sometimes. What is that? Garudasana, yeah, Garudasana, yeah. Vriksha kya? Hastapradam. Vrikshasana. So, sometimes yogis stand on one leg, isn't it? How long? How long? It is not the way to stand. It is some special, some practices. Generally, one has to stand upon two legs. One is support to the others. And walking, it can be possible only by two legs. Do you think, no, Swamiji, we can practice half step and jump. No, that is momentary, that is some practice, different. General common lifestyle we discuss. If you want to walk, you say, no, two persons can walk with three-legged race. No, that is not the way. That is some special case. That is not the real common way of life. We have to walk by two legs. So one is relative to other, dependent on other, cooperative to each other. Then only we can do any action. Physically, practically we see it. What to speak of analyzing and using our intellect? A child can say, how many legs you want to walk?
Two.
Cycle?
Two wheels.
Sometimes one wheel cycle also they would. But generally two wheels are required, isn't it? Two or more than two. I am walking now by three legs, two legs and another helping leg, stick, isn't it? Anyway, it is relatively, everything is done, that is the common lifestyle. So, it is proved, there is no question of analyzing or thinking it intellectually or doing something special, nothing is needed. This world is made by pairs of opposites. Two are bound to be there. And two means they are relative and everything, independent, cooperative, sahakari, sahajogi, sahabhagi, सब कुछ. So in this way, the world stands upon three legs so that it can be established formally. Two legs sometimes, our Swamiji stuttering, he falls down very often, isn't it? If you have no balance in two wheels, you fall down in a bicycle, isn't it? But three-wheel cycle, tricycle, you cannot fall down. Never. So in this way, formally, the whole world is established on the basement of triangular force. Three qualities are the root cause of the nature, triguna. So when we practice something, by one aspect or one sense or applying one method, nothing can be done. Be sure this is the secret of spiritual practice or doing anything worldwide. Do whatever you like. One single path will not help you perfectly. You are dependent on others. So here also he says same thing. You know what is vipassana? Many nowadays it is so common, everybody knows it, vipassana. In olden days, our yogis unknowingly not telling to anything on it, they used to practice the same thing, that is Sahaj Pranayam. Just go on looking at your observing the breath outgoing and incoming. So naturally what happens, the breath starts slowly to slow down, and then finally it stops. It moves within the nostrils, and a time comes, if you are sincerely practicing it, after a little time, slowly the prana stops moving. And either in Brahmarandra or somewhere in the heart or outside also, Bahya Kumbhak, Antar Kumbhak, something happens. That depends upon your personal body and attitude and way of practicing, and your concentration of mind where it is. Accordingly, slowly, gradually, after a little time, the prana stops moving. That is called Sahaja Kumbhak, natural stoppage of the vital air. And that alone, of course, can do something. With that, if you can practice awareingly, knowingly, the tratak, of course this is, watching means tratak, but fixing the mind, not allowing it to move in one point somewhere in your body, and especially, preferably, at the center of two eyebrows. That is called Ajna Chakra, Bhru Madhya Dishti, and it is taken for granted. The mind's home is the brain, and its source of origin is heart. It spreads all over the body, it activates all over the body, and prana also same thing. And it's a headquarter, main office, head office is here. Why it is so? Of course it is natural. Everybody's mind mainly concentrated here at the time of waking state. While doing something, your mind is always in this region. If you think something seriously, naturally this will be wavery, isn't it? The eyes center here and mind comes here. This is the center of concentration. Mind always works here. Why? Some believe, and of course Lamas, Buddhists, they have some practice in olden days. They operate and find out the third eye here. And we know Lord Shiva has 3 eyes and the third eye is here. The inner sight. And why it is here, not here, why not? You see, here is a center of nerves where the main senses have the junction, nerve center. We see and hear. These two are representative of form and name. Sound is name and form is eyes. Eyes, we see the form, and the ear helps us to know the name, and the whole world is nothing but names and forms. Everything has a form. We see it, and it has a name. We relate it with the form, and then we can have our transaction, either to take something from it or to give something to it. We have relationship, contact with the object. Without the name, without the form, we cannot have sense contact with the form, with the object. That is natural process of the whole universe. So, eyes and ears are centered here. And nose also, here is inside it. When we breathe out and take, inhale, from here it goes inside, and from here it goes outside. This is a circle, round circle, where all the roads meet together. Meet together, what are the roads? Where from they come? They are the main Grand Trunk roads. This is how Ajna Chakra is very, very important. Whatever you do, knowingly or unknowingly, if you are serious, you get tension. Tension means here. How many sons you have?
0.
Huh?
0. Now,
No sons? You have no sons?
no, I am not. That one son.
Tension is here. Have you got 10 or 11 or what? How many sons? Don't you get tension? No, no, sometimes no children can be without tension. Sometimes mother bangs you, sometimes father abuses you, he stops you going to play, and sometimes your teacher will beat you or fine you because children are naughty. So tension everybody has. That is the center. Tension, worries, and concentration of mind. Everything is here. It is head office of mind. So if you can concentrate here, naturally you will have success in watching the wind, your breath, outgoing and incoming breath, and also the mind, and your eye will be centered here, and ear also. Your mind is there means ears cannot, and all the senses naturally they will be attending this point. All the senses get together. This is a very important center. That is what he is telling, and this is how, this is the type of integral practice. Yogis mostly do practice this method. Pranapanu samukritva nasabhyantaracharinau और बहिर्वाह्यम चक्षुश्चैवान्तरे भ्रुवौ स्पर्शन कृत्वा बहिर्वाह्यम चक्षुश्चैवान्तरे भ्रुवोः प्राणापानो समूकृत्वा नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणौ. Pran and apan, you have to allow it to flow in the same speed, and that is you need not have to give much force on them. If you watch over it, automatically it happens. You get the clue if you practice. Shutting out all external contacts by the senses with the outer objects and fixing the gaze between the eyebrows, Ajna Chakra, equalizing the outgoing and incoming breaths. When you concentrate here, naturally the Vipassana method starts by itself and the breathing slowly becomes slower and slower and it stops and you get a one-pointed mind. This is very effective and very quick resulting method. But at the same time, if you want to reach the goal soon, you have to pay heavily. Sometimes you get headache in the beginning and sometimes you get heat in the body, head and body. Many things happen in the beginning. Afterwards, of course, you naturally overcome all these obstacles. Shutting out all external contacts and fixing the gaze between the eyebrows, equalizing the outgoing and incoming breaths, moving within the nostrils. So this is a type of integral practice. Everything is practiced together. Very effective, very quick method. But at the same time, it should not be started with started with force. When you get little headache, you have to give it up. Slowly go on increasing your timing. Today 5 minutes, tomorrow for 5 minutes at least 10 days, 15 days. If you can easily fix your mind here for 5 minutes, then go ahead, make it 6, 7 minutes. Up till you can practice it easily without any struggle. Slowly you can go on increasing timing and you will get into it. You will get no tension, no headache, nothing. You have to always remember, yoge roga bhayam. All these are skills of yoga. And everywhere there is a fear of the opposite side, rogue. And what disease you get from practice of yoga cannot be cured by the doctors. Nobody can cure. Only a yogi can cure. Who has practiced it, who has the experience of all the nerve system and prana and mind, how it works, how it worked wrongly, that's how this disease has taken place. So, he is the experienced man. He will set mind, prana and everything all right, and the nerves will be activated properly, and then the disease is gone forever. That is the way to cure it, not any medicine. Nothing can help you. That's why to practice all these, there is a saying, when you go to practice for a longer time and getting some solid result of it, you have to take the guidance of a practical, personal guide. Always you should consult with a personal guide who has experience, or else for a small little time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, anything you can practice, no, never mind. Practicing this Bhrumadhya Drishti, or doing something outside, outward Tratak, or practicing Vipassana, or your pranayama and what is that? Yes, you can do it for 5, 6 minutes, 10 minutes without any difficulties. If you practice for a long time, you have to take guidance of a experienced yogi who has gone through that path and who has got experience of it. He can set you all right. Shall I tell you little of my experience? That's why I am telling you, warning you. And Gurudev always wants all the practitioners, don't practice such technical yogic ways for a long time without having personal guide. You will, and what happens at the end, when you get something, say disease or some failures or something what you don't expect, then naturally there will be some hatred towards yoga. These are simply, there is nothing, bluffing, nothing happens. You will propagate against yoga. The admirer of yoga, you will go against it. That will be the reaction. हाँ, अंगूर खट्टे हैं, खाली खट्टे का करके छोड़ देना वो नहीं. You will provide others not to go there. Not only it is sawari, there are wasps sitting on the creepers, they will bite you. Don't go there, don't go near the garden. It is dangerous, dangerous. What is that? Dangerous means? Very fine, very fine. So in this way, for a little time, anything can be practiced. I heard from somebody told me, many things I heard from senior Mahatmas. They sometimes to give some courage, encouraging these youngsters, they should do something. So old Mahatmas, they will teach you and tell you something to do. These youngsters, they know nothing, they do nothing. They have become sadhus only to lecture and they know nothing. Cram some books and lecture. You fellows, you talk English, Mleccha language. For 7 generations you will not be, 7 lives you will not attain mukti. On the other hand, you will go to hell because you speak English. Mleccha bhasha. They will discourage and encourage on the other hand. These fellows don't do anything. Eating, drinking, sleeping, gossiping. These youngsters, साधु बन गए, कुछ नहीं जानते हैं, जाकर के भिक्षा के लाइन में खड़े हो गए. By that you will be encouraged. I shall do and show you. What do you think of us? ऐसे ये हुआ एक बार. Some yogi teased me, and then I said, what do you think? We cannot do anything. I shall show you. He said, if one chants long pranam verbally, audibly, long pranam, taking full breath and chanting Om and breathing out for 6 hours a day, within 6 months, he can see something, he can realize something. These fellows, they cannot do anything. And they know only lecturing. They do nothing. In that way, he was teaching me. I said, I shall show you. I was in Rishikesh ashram, Rishikesh Sivananda ashram. I had to give seva for 4 hours at least. I had several responsibilities in the ashram. I had to do something. And by the way, I have to take care of my bhiksha and bathing and everything. So hardly I get some little time, private time. So morning hours I used to go on the river bank somewhere where even the monkeys cannot reach. Little sandy beach near a banyan tree, just on the Ganges bank. And I used to go there by catching the rocks. No man can reach there. And there it is so isolated, nobody can go there. I used to sit there on the sand. I can easily sit there for 2-3 hours without any worries, anxieties, aloof from the locality, and started doing this. First day, 5 minutes. Slowly I went up to 10 minutes, then 20 minutes, 15, 20, half an hour. Then I was able to practice it for 2-3 hours continuously. Then it was so hard to increase the time. I used to feel so tired. And after 2 hours chanting, I will be having whirling. I will fall down there. And then I got bleeding in the nose. Head will be so hot. I have to wash it with Ganga water. Somehow then only I can see something. Slowly I used to see darkness everywhere. Then yet I had courage, and it went on for 1 or 2 months. I could not increase the timing, and I could not bear this heat and all these low blood pressure, and when I get up I will see nothing. Everything is quite darkness. Then I got afraid. I am playing with my body and everything. I will go mad, my life will be, it will be ruined. I should not hear these old fellows. Grapes are soury. And, and then after some days I left the practice. I was so much afraid. And then I had no guidance from anyone. So I went to that person after a few days, and indirectly I started teaching him, you fellow, you know nothing, and you teach some people, you falsely encourage some people, indirectly.
Misguide.
Yes, misguide the new Mahatmas. You should be punished, God will not forgive you. Then he was old man, very man of understanding. He called me, made me sit near. My dear, what happened? What happened? You want to ruin others' life, isn't it? No, no, my dear. What happened? Tell me. Then I narrated everything to him. My dear, I told it to do, of course. Did you ask me again what to do, how long to do? Did you ask me? And simply you are complaining against me? You fellow, you know nothing, and started doing. For this, you have to eat. If you practice 2 hours, at least 1 kilo ghee you must consume. Then only it will make your balance. Milk at least 1-2 liters every day. And when your head gets heated up, you have to apply massage makhan, butter, handmade, not Amul butter. Utter butter, Amul butter, lal tomato. That is useless. Yes. So you should have good and energetic food. You should eat little and filling the belly with sambar and rice and going to practice yoga. You fool. He begged me. Why did you not ask me? This is called Raja Yoga. The great kings only practice this. Not a beggar. This is not beggar's yoga. It is Raja Yoga. Royal path. Then I thought, where from I can get all this? Nothing. So I left it. But I had so much energy, I got so much experience also within that 2 months. So much. Of course, out of fear, I left the practice. Many times it happened like that. Sometimes I used to sit for 22 hours. Up to that I could reach. To sit for 22 hours a day. I had to complete 1 lakh chanting. Never I could. Up to 90,000 I could cover up. And same thing happens. A reaction starts. You will get headache, whirling, and low BP, and you will go mad sometimes. Most dangerous. Why I am telling you all this? To warn you, not to practice yoga for a long time without following the rules and regulations and without having a personal guide.
तो आप इतना किया, हमको तो सुन के ही चक्कर आ रहा है।
No, really, it is not easy joke to practice like that. Of course, neophytes, they have that courage. I shall do and show you. What can we not do? Youngsters.
लास्ट मेरे साथ हुआ ना सर, मैं प्रेस चालू करने का शुरू हुआ था, आप कैसे हुआ मुझे?
Many have experienced just opposite of the expectation, because you have to strictly follow all the rules and regulations in the yogi path. It is not joke. But for practicing few minutes or half an hour, there is no danger. Easily one can go for it. That is what he is telling. So we shall discuss on it still more tomorrow. How to practice nasabhyantaracharini pranapano, and to how to balance it, and then how to fix your mind on the Agnya Chakra Bhumadhyan Drishti. And then for how long, who can practice it, with what rules and regulations, at what time, in what place, everything is concerned. So why it is discussed here? For idealism, and when you know the theory, and you go on repeating the theory again and again, naturally you will have a tendency, let me do it. So naturally you will go for a guidance from somebody, and slowly, if not in this life, at least if you have practiced something, the yoga bhrashta will never go in vain. He will achieve something or other, even not in this life. We have to travel so many lives, my dear. How many lives we have spent uselessly and spending time on fulfilling the desires. Why not spending little time in all these useless practices? These useless practices will be useful one day or other. No doubt in it. This is what Gurudev also used to say always. I have sown the seeds. If not in this life, in next life it will germinate, and it will have some fruits. Some result it will have. So he has written several books on different paths, having all these experiences, so that people of many kinds of attitude and temperaments and choice, they can come to this path and follow any path they like. This is also like that. Lord Krishna explains it, how the yogis do, so that you will have an idea, I will become a yogi. When you go to see the cricket match, international cricket match, and our Jubi kicked, stroke 6 sixers in one over. What idea you got? What 6 sixers? I shall continuously have 36 or 42 sixers continuously. What in 1 over only? Continuously 3-4 overs I can hit sixers. What Jubi does? When my time comes, I shall show. Green's book. My name will be written, isn't it? Now he is thinking. Generally the youngsters, young blood, bubbling blood. So anyhow, we shall discuss some more technical points over this, and the result will be to understand how the yogis, they get one-pointed mind and enter into some meditation and samadhi, and they achieve that Brahma Nirvanam. Tomorrow we shall see same thing again. Hari Om. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai. Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai. Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Gita Mata ki jai.